everybody, it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I'm coming back in with the 7th card from my Halloween series. This time I'm using a retired stamp set from Crafting Desert Divas called Batty for You. I thought today I'd watercolor a little bit because I haven't done that yet with my Halloween series. And I'm using Daniel Smith Primatex watercolors. And I'm throwing the names up on the screen because I have a little bit of a speech impediment, and I'm 90% of the time able to hide it. But for some reason, a significant portion of the Daniel Smith Primatech line launches that speech impediment right through the door. So I'm not constantly stuttering over my own speech. I'm not going to say the colors, but like I said, I'm listing them up in the left-hand corner if you want to know what colors I'm using. For anybody who's not familiar with this line, it's actually made out of minerals. It's crushed minerals turned into watercolor. And the reason I adore it is that it leaves a really amazing sediment behind when the watercolor dries. You can actually see right there on the bottom with that blackish color that's going on. You can see the sediment setting in already. So I'm taking some dark gray, black tones, and I'm taking some purple tones to create this background. And I didn't want it to be uniformed, and I didn't want it to be too dark, but I also wanted it to have kind of a sinister night feel to it. So I'm working it. I am in no way, shape, or form the world's greatest watercolor. I'm not even a good watercolor. I'm a marginal one at best. But I love the background you can create while watercoloring. It just, there's something magical about a watercolored background. I really don't watercolor enough. I really need to get into the habit of really pushing it, but time. We all need more of it, right? So these two colors I'm mixing up right now, the bronzite and the sugar light. See, that's one of the ones that gets me. Like, I stumble over that one every time. Both of these colors have for lack of a better word, a sparkle to them. So when they dry, they have a shimmer that is naturally left behind from the minerals that they are ground from, making them very cool and the perfect color for the moon. This bronzite actually dries very bronze, which it's very cool. It's so very, very cool. And like I said, it has this natural shimmer lift behind it, and the most shimmery of them all, or at least of what I have. I don't have the whole set. It's like 37 colors, and I don't have them all. But the most shimmery of what I'm used to working with is this sugar light. I wish I could have shown you my palette, but my palette is huge, and it's actually bought specifically just for this collection of Daniel Smith. It's the only thing I keep in here. So I managed to bring in just a little bit of the lid where I mix, so you can actually see me mixing up some of the colors. I know a lot of crafters use watercolor straight. I don't. I like to mix. I like to mix as much as humanly possible because then you get these gradients of color. My watercolor brush right now holds an amazing amount of water. This is the Silver Brush. Oh, I never get this right. There's so many titles to it. This is the Black Velvet brush from the Silver Brush Company. It holds an incredible amount of water, which is great when you want a really watered down scene. I wanted the bat to come in black. So you'll see me actually grab my paper towel from time to time and hold the bottom of the paintbrush to the bristles, and that's actually just trying to suck out as much of the water as I can, so I'm laying down as much pure color as I can. Not the technique most watercolorists would use, but when you want a really dark black bat and you're using watercolors, you have to get out as much water as you can and paint with as much pure color as you can. For those of you who aren't real familiar with watercolor, remember, it's always going to dry back lighter than what it looks like wet. So if you're laying color down and you feel it's kind of light, then you need to go ahead right then and there and lay something heavier, because it will dry back lighter. You can layer watercolors one over another, but it will always dry. You run the risk of moving it. I wanted that branch to extend off the page, so I actually lifted some of the watercolor up and just kind of pulled the color up so I could lay down some of this brown color. I actually, from the very beginning, had the intention of grabbing a permanent thin marker and filling out the rest of the branch so that there was black line around this kind of imaginary branch drop I put in. Yeah, I forgot to do that. 100% forgot to do it. Actually, in fact, didn't realize I forgot to do that until I was editing this video and was like, oh, look, I never outlined the back of the branch. I guess at some point, the way I cut the card up, I stopped noticing it, and thus it stopped bothering me that the line wasn't there. Um, in fact, I haven't gone and looked to see if I look at the card and if the line bothers me. We'll find out in a minute. I'll let you know if it bothers me. I dropped in some kind of purpley black clouds just because I wanted a little bit more interest in that background, and I think the clouds did a great job. And then, of course, splattering, because what's a Halloween card without awesome amount of splatters? Yeah, no, it absolutely bothers me that I forgot to put the line in. So there's your answer. I messed up and should have put a line in. This was a quick one today, just a little simple watercolor card. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tap the dragon to subscribe. And, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.